This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Heather Mason. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Oh, I am having a great time. I've had a great day, great couple months in 2019, and we're looking forward to a lot of good stuff this year.
Sounds great. What part of the world are you in right now?
Well, right at this exact moment, I'm in Marina del Rey, which is part of Los Angeles, and looking out over a gorgeous scene of boats and the marina.
Sounds great. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like early afternoon for you still, isn't it?
It is. It's really nice. It's about 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's a Friday, so that means the weekend is very, very close.
Love it. All right. Well, tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
Well, gosh, where do we start, right? My specific talent, I guess, is think like a producer, act like a producer, and I own and founded a event strategy firm that also produces events all over the country, all over the world, and mainly in the social good space. So people doing good.
Where did you get this idea from?
Well, I wanted to actually be a movie producer. So that's why I came out to Los Angeles from Idaho many, many years ago. And I worked in the movie industry for a while, didn't quite feel like it was going to pan out. And then I went into the early .com way back when. And then I moved up to the Bay Area because the .com was thriving up there. Of course, the bubble burst way back in 2001. And so I got a job at Charles Schwab doing event management, because I always like to say if film production and marketing business expertise had a baby, it would be conference and event production. So that's what I did. And I worked there for 3 years, and I thought, hey, I want to work with people saving the world. So I just up and quit and started my company in 2006. So this will be our 14th year.
Wow, congratulations. What's the name of the company?
The name of the company is Caspian Agency. And sometimes people ask me where the name came from. And it's not the Caspian Sea, even though it's spelled like that. It's actually Prince Caspian from Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia.
Intriguing. Wow. I guess, they travel a lot, don't they?
They do. Yes, indeed. That's right. See, and we travel a lot.
Yes,
and there's a great story in one of the books, The Silver Chair, which is about the children being told they can't do things, they can't be things, and that the witch is trying to bewitch them into despondency and hopelessness. And Puddleglum the Marshwiggle puts his hand in the fire. Apparently there's nothing like the smell of burnt marshwiggle to bring you to your senses. Yeah. And so the kids realize, indeed, there's an upper world. They're being lied to by the witch, and they rescue the prince and go up to the upper world. And I thought, it's a good analogy for how we feel in life when we want things to change or start a business or believe in something good. There's a lot of naysayers. And I think you have to put your hand in the fire and actually put some pain and sweat to change things. And I also thought Puddleglum and Marshwiggle were not good company names. So that's why I went with Caspian.
It would have been a bit challenging to spell.
Yeah.
Which brings us to your event, right? Is that where the name SUREFIRE came from?
Yes. So SUREFIRE is actually, it came from, my background in wanting to help girls have a better life and reach their potential and understand all the assets and resources in a given community that can help them. But at the actual word SUREFIRE, I love because it's two meanings. One, we used to sit around the fire and teach our youth how to be adults. The whole village used to contribute, which is what SUREFIRE is about. But the second reason is because the definition of the word SUREFIRE means bound for success or bound to succeed. If I say you are SUREFIRE, then I mean you are bound to succeed. And I like that.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, you're SUREFIRE. Yeah, you're SUREFIRE.
Exactly. And it's an exciting word. I mean, fire is like active and it's taking off and it's doing something. And I also like that too. So that's where it came from.
Where's the best place for people to connect with you?
Well, they can find me a lot online. So they can find us, of course, surefiregirls.com is our girls conference website. And they can also find me at caspianagency.com. And I also started CEO-U.co for people who want to become CEOs. So they can find that. And then they can find me on Twitter at Heather L. Mason and on LinkedIn, Heather Mason, Caspian. I'm pretty easy to find there too.
Love it. Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please, Heather.
Well, for that one, I'll just do a fun one, soccer. I've been playing soccer for many, many, many decades, and I still play on 2 teams, a women's full field on Sundays and a women's indoor on Mondays. And I won't tell you how old I am. I'll just tell you I've been playing since I was 5 years old, and I've only missed 1 season with knee surgery, but I came right back.
Wow. How does it make you feel looking back from now to then?
Oh, man, if I could have told my 5-year-old self that I'd be traveling the world and working with people like Jeff Skoll, who I admire, up one side, down the other, his integrity and his vision, my little 5-year-old self in Idaho Falls, Idaho, would have squealed for joy. I could never have imagined the life I live. And I love working with my staff, most of whom are women, I'll just say, and, exposing them and giving them opportunities that I know I wish I'd had at their age. And that just really gets me excited when I look back and think, oh, man, there's no way at any part in my life I would have thought I would have been here.
Suggest to someone that's listening, possibly that young lady who doesn't know all that she can be, why she should do what you've done.
Oh, well, I will tell her she doesn't have to own her own company, even though I do recommend it. But the think like a producer idea or project management in general is such an amazing skill because it teaches you can see how to get anything you want done in your life. It gets you to not focus on your obstacles, but on what resources you would need to achieve your dreams or your event or whatever it is. And so my recommendation always to young girls is take speech and debate. Learn how to form your thoughts and arguments and how to articulate them. No matter what, join a speech team, join a debate team. The second thing I always say is run for office of a club, if you're in school, of your school, of whatever you can run for office for, so you get the idea of leadership. And if you're in college, run for office or be in charge of a club where you have to get stuff done with other people. Because I don't care what you do, unless you're working alone in a lab, and even then, you probably have to work with people. If you can figure out leadership, how to motivate people, how to get them through the steps to get something done, if you can see how you can take a project from start to finish, that is really motivating, regardless of your career choice. And that's why I love my skill set, and I love being able to tell girls, hey, I don't care what job you do, at some point, you will have to know the skills I have, which is project management, whether that's project manage getting your kids to school, project manage getting a career choice into college, whatever. But project management is critical, and speaking and debating is critical. So it's fun because you get to finally take control of your life, and that's what I would say.
Amazing audience, you're getting it live from Heather Mason, again, the founder and CEO of Caspian Agency. Heather, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, long, blue Caribbean water. Heather, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Wow, earliest childhood memory. Probably helping my dad fix his car. I always thought I was going to be a mechanic when I was a little kid. And my other one is my mom used to take us out in the backyard. It's kind of fun. And she'd have a big vat of chocolate pudding. And she would say we could finger paint on this wax paper. And so we'd finger paint all day with chocolate pudding. And then she'd hose us down at the end. And it was so fun and giddy and ridiculous and silly. And my mom really instilled in me how wonderful it is to hold on to being ridiculous as a person.
How old were you in those two memories?
Probably around 4-ish, I think. Yeah, probably around 4, 3 and 4.
How do you see those memories connecting to who you are today? Even the one with your father. I think your ear is just rubbing on your headsets.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It happens.
I will hold this out.
It's part of the modern technology.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah.
Sorry,
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Probably because I always wanted to figure things out. And my dad is very logical, and he taught me to be logical. And project management and producing is a logical sequencing, systems-based thinking. If you can't do systems-based and process thinking, it's very difficult to be a producer. And my dad had that. And so when we would work on his car, that is what I would think of, is he'd say, reason it out, problem solve it out. And that's why it was so fun. And I think where I am today, because of my mother and the memory with the chocolate pudding is my mother was always incredibly creative. And I mean, she made up that game. There is no game of chocolate pudding, for your children to finger paint with outside. She was always original and unique. And I think what I bring to my job is our clients can count on me to be original and unique. And then with SUREFIRE, I injected all the fun stuff I'd like to have. It's not just a girls' conference. We have a photo booth. Why? Because it's fun. And that's a metric, is fun, playfulness. We have blow-up inflatable furniture because it's fun, it's playful. And it gets that surprise and delight that I had as a kid and I want every girl to experience. So I would say those are the two ways it connects.
Can I add something?
Sure.
It's really cool looking from where I am to the conversation we've had to see the listening part of you. Like you've been listening to others in the process to learning, which is one, project management style, and second, creative. But as well, it seems as though it's created an opportunity for you to listen to yourself and the decisions you've made by deciding to switch, right, from that corporate to opening your own company, to bringing value, to entering into the social space, from being producers for so many things that you expressed. But it's just fascinating, the power of listening and how it's developed you.
That's a really good point. I've never thought of that way. And you're right. In any of these positions, you do have to listen to your customers, to the girls, to the people you're working with, to everyone around you. And I think always believing that there's lessons to be learned from every person. And I think that humility goes a long way, because 9 billion of us, I don't think any one person has the corner on the market on brilliance. Definitely. Nobody.
I totally agree with that. All right. So we fast forwarded to when you were 12 years old. What was your favorite song?
Oh, wow. Probably around 12. I'm going to try to think of, was it Men at Work? Or it would have been a Peter Gabriel song. I love Peter Gabriel. So I'm trying to think if Sledgehammer, that probably would have been too early. Or Michael Jackson. I loved Thriller. Thriller was great. It was so fun to dance to Thriller.
All right, Heather. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly. Are you ready?
Okay.
Heather, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Probably, more.
I think you had to share with us your own unique real statement. A statement that represents who you are. Heather Mason. What would you say that is?
I love the quote by Archimedes. Give me a lever and a place to stand, and I will move the world.
Love it. Heather, this has been such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I just think this is such a fantastic format. I want to thank you for having me on here and making me think in new ways about how my life is connected. I would not have thought of that, and I really appreciate it.
Love it. I love the fact that your name ends with Mason as well. I think a Mason does so many things, like masonry, right? Like you're responsible for plastering the walls and getting it up. And it's really cool to see that as well. Heather, again, great pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazon Enterprise.